Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel ACBA Designs. On these tutorials, we are going to make this beautiful off-shoulder dress for a 4-year-old girl. Great, so these are the materials you'll be needing: ruler, zip, pins, tailor's chalk, our lining fabric, and then the main fabric, that's African print tie and dye fabric. So I will be using the yellow part of the fabric, that's the one in the middle. Okay, so I'll then fold it into two like what I have done. The bust measurement is 22 divided by 4 is 5.5 plus 2 inches allowance, making 7.5. So as you can see, I marked my 7.5, and then from shoulder to waist is 10 inches. Shoulder to waist is 10 inches plus 1 inch allowance, making 11 inches. So I marked my 11 inches like what I am doing. Okay, so I marked the same 11 inches at the other side as well. I'll then go ahead and then connect the 2 points and then cut out. Okay, so this is the front of the dress. I will then cut out and then cut the same thing for the back, but I will be leaving 1 inch allowance for zip allowance. Okay, so this is it. I'm about to cut the back. I then placed the front onto it and then left 1 inch at the back side, serving as my zip extension. Okay, so this is what I'll be having after cutting out. Please, since it's an off-shoulder dress, I'll be taking away 4 inches. That's from the shoulder to the chest is 4 inches. I'll be taking away 4 inches from the measurement taken. So as you can see, I am shortening it by 4 inches. So this is for the front, and I'll be doing the same thing for the back. So this is what I have after cutting out the 4 inches. I then measure from the side inwards 3 inches and then brought it down 3 inches, and I drew the armhole curve like this. Afterwards, I slanted the chest a bit, about ½ inch downwards. I will then cut out. I slanted the chest, both the back and then the front, and then cut out the armhole for both the back and then the front. I'll be cutting the same thing on my lining pieces. So this is it. So I'll be cutting the same thing on my lining pieces. I'll then go ahead and then sew and then turn to the right side. So this is the back. Okay, so the next thing to do is to go ahead and then trace out or cut out the round objects or the round design in the fabric. I'll be cutting out about 10 designs. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Yeah, so I'll be cutting all out. This is what I'll be having. This is what I have after cutting all the round designs out. The next thing to do is to go ahead and then place all the round design onto another fabric that will serve as my lining. So I placed it on it like what I am doing. Afterwards, I pin them and then cut it out. Okay, so this is what I have after cutting it out together with the lining pieces. The next thing to do is to go ahead and then sew along the round shape. I'll be sewing along the round shape. Great. So the next thing to do is to go ahead and then cut the skirt to be attached to the top. So this is actually 2 yards of African print. I then folded it into 2 and then folded it again, means I folded it into 4 like this. Okay, so this is the 4th fold. Okay, so the next thing to do is to go ahead and then measure the length of the skirt. Dress length is actually 26 inches, so from shoulder to waist is 10 inches, so the remaining measurement is 16 inches plus 1 inch allowance, making 17 inches. So as you can see, I am marking out the 17 inches. Then I'll mark the same thing at the other side as well. I'll then connect the 2 points with the ruler and then cut out. I actually wanted the pink side to be at the waist area, and then the yellow part becomes the down area. Okay, so after marking out, I then cut out with my scissors. Okay, so the next thing to do is to go ahead and then indicate the center of the pieces. Afterwards, I will take it to my machine and then run a gathered stitch at the pink side, or at the selvage of the pink area. Afterwards, I will double fold the hem and then top stitch to finish the edges. Great, so this is what I have after sewing along the round objects. The next thing to do is to go ahead and then trim off the excess fabric at the edges to enable me turn to the right side. So this is what I have after cutting out the excess. The next thing to do is to go ahead and then turn to where the lining pieces is, and then create a small hole, or cut out a small hole at the back and then turn through like what I am doing. So I turned through the lining pieces hole I created at the back. Then it became very nice. Sorry, my camera couldn't capture. So this is what I have after turning to the right side. I'll be doing the same thing on the other one. I'll then cut out the excess, turn to the back, cut out some pieces, and then turn to the right side. Great, so this is what I have after cutting out and then turning to the right side. The next thing to do is to go ahead and then arrange it and sew along. I'll then place the first one down, then I'll place the second one on it, overlapping it, then I'll top stitch. I'll be doing it continuously until all the 10 pieces finishes. So I'll be overlapping each and then top stitch to secure it. Okay, so this is the top part. I'll then trim off the excess lining or the excess fabric showing. This is the back. I'll then fold it into 2 like what I have done, and then indicate the zip allowance about 1 inch. I'll indicate it with my pins and then later open it to the right side facing me, and then I'll place the right side of the front onto it. Then I'll go ahead and then shape it according to my client's measurement. I didn't take off the sticker, the paper sticker, because if I take it off now, it's going to disturb my machine. So unless I'm done sewing before I can take it off, that's why you still see it there. Okay, so at this point I am going to shape it according to my client's measurement. That's bust 22 and then waist 20. Afterwards, I trim off the excess allowance at both sides, leaving about 1.5 inch allowance. Okay, so the next thing to do is to divide the zip line into 2. I'll divide the zip line into 2, turn to the wrong side and then sew before turning to the right side. Okay, so this is the skirt area. So after creating or after running the garter stitch, I'll then take off one thread at one side and then pull it to get the waist measurement. The waist measurement is 20 inches, so I will actually pull to 22 inches. That is 1 inch at both sides for zip allowance or sewing allowance. Okay, so this is the 22 inches I had. The next thing to do is to go ahead and then place the top onto the skirt after stitching on the measurement taken. So I'll place it onto the skirt. Afterwards, I'll place my lining onto it to finish the waist area. So as you can see, afterwards I'll place the lining pieces onto it and then pleat along. So this is the lining pieces. I'll then place it onto the top together with the skirt, like what I have done. I'll then pleat along until it fits the waist perfectly. So that is what I am doing, as you can see. Great. So this is it after pleating along. I will go ahead and then sew 1 inch downwards. Afterwards, I will turn to the right side. Great. So after sewing at the waistline, I then turn to the right side. Afterwards, I'll be putting my off shoulder design onto it like this. I'll then locate the center and then place it onto it. Actually, if you want to know the measurement for all around the shoulder, you need to measure your client. So my client around the shoulder is 26-27. So I designed it according to around the shoulder measurement of my client. That's 26-27. Okay. So this is what I have after pinning down. I made sure I didn't extend the design into the zip extension. I rather left some space and then ended it like 2 inches before the zip extension. This is because if my client wears it and there is any alterations, whether too tight or too loose, we'll be able to adjust it easily. Okay, I'll then go ahead and then sew along and then fix my zip. Great. So this is what I have after attaching the shoulder band and then fixing the zip at the back. Very neat and beautiful. So this can be made for kids or adults. You can try one for yourself or for your kids and then tag me on social media. Please subscribe to my channel. Press the notification bell to notify you anytime I upload any video. Share and then comment as well. Bye.